This revision video is about radioactive contamination and the difference with irradiation. So, let's start off with irradiation. If we have a radioactive source, so that's the radioactive source, and if we have a person or an object nearby, that radioactive source is bombarding them with radiation. However, that person is not becoming radioactive, because if you remove the radioactive source, they're back to normal. If the radioactive source is there, they're getting bombarded by radiation. But contamination is when they get the radioactive source on them or in them. So again, drawing a human, could be an object, and this person's accidentally swallowed the radioactive source. They've got the radioactive source inside them, so the particles, the radioactive nuclei are inside them. We can't remove it, so they are contaminated. So that's the difference between irradiation and contamination. Irradiation is less hazardous because you can simply remove the radioactive source, whereas contamination is a lot more hazardous because once it's on somebody, it is not got rid of until the body's got rid of it itself, either through the urine or through excretion. But that whole time it's in the body, it's causing damage. It's causing damage to the DNA, it's causing mutations, it's increasing the risk of cancer. So how do we protect ourselves from contamination? We wear gloves at all times. Really good picture of a glove there. We use tongs. So that means we don't actually handle materials ourselves at any time. We use it for a very short amount of time. So keep it down as short as possible. So for example, I'm putting 30 seconds on a timer instead of 30 minutes. And we only use it as short amount of time as possible, and we keep it locked away in metal lead containers. So if we use lead containers, even gamma rays can't penetrate it. So all this information we've got about irradiation and contamination has come from scientific studies. So scientific studies, how do we find out if they're correct or not? So what happens is the scientists do something called peer review. So that's where they publish the results. They go to peer review, where other scientists investigate, and they usually use scientists that are experts in whatever they've published. Other scientists investigate and check or test. And then if it's true, and the big emphasis on if it's true or if it's correct, the results are accepted, and if need be, the model is changed. So this is what happened with Rutherford and Thompson in a few videos ago. Rutherford got new results, he published it, it got into peer review, other scientists investigated it, found out that his results of deflection and being deflected right back were accepted, and as a result we needed a new model. So that is radioactive contamination.